Colorado travels to Lincoln, Nebraska for a rematch for last year's game where Colorado spanked them, especially in that second half where Jeff Collins, or sorry, not Jeff, not
Jeff
Jeff Collins,
Sims.
Jeff Sims, uh, different guy.
Jeff
Jeff
Collins is
Sims,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, he had a solid weekend last weekend, I guess.
I can't talk. I can't
Yeah,
talk.
with the Minnesota helmet back there. Yeah, I'm very interested in this game because I think Nebraska's secondary has athletes back there. The question is, are they good enough? Are they athletic? We've talked about this Colorado wide receiver core being quite literally, and this is not an exaggeration. This is not blowing up Colorado to what it's not, right? We both, I think, we're on the Colorado under 5.5. We know what this team's ceiling and floor is, right? Realistically. But this wide receiver group is no joke. And Dion made it this way. One of the best in the entire country. Right. So this Nebraska secondary is going to be tested. They're going to throw the ball. They abandoned the run game against North Dakota State. They just abandoned it. They said, no, we're not going to do it. So this line is Nebraska by a touchdown here, -7. How we feeling, dude?
But I was a little bit surprised it didn't move more than it did. It open at 6.5. It's only up to a touchdown just because of, Colorado struggled with North Dakota State last week. And listen, it's week one. Obviously, North Dakota State won in that football game so bad. They they being Colorado struggled stopping North Dakota State, but it didn't feel like last year. I was a little bit more optimistic coming away from that game in terms of the defense side of the football. It's just
Yeah.
was a Cam Miller. Like he was really, really good. The quarterback for North Dakota State on the ground. That's where he got him, man. 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. You saw big time scrambles. You saw
Left and
first
right.
down conversions. I mean,
That's how they
to
scored
me,
in the red zone, too. That's like,
yeah, yeah, it's not ridiculous. And I look at Dylan Raiola for Nebraska, and I know he's got it in him, but how much are they really willing to run him? Right? It almost would rather be just Heinrich Harburg and just run the football, 100 times and win the football game. But obviously, Dylan Raiola gives you the best chance to win this game and going forward. I understand that for sure, and I know you had Johnson and Dowell and Emmett Johnson as well. Gabe Irvin in there last week running the football well against UTEP. Now UTEP is obviously in its own kind of rebuild, with
Scotty
with our
Walden.
guy there, Scotty Walden, and Nebraska's transfers receiving wise also looked good too. Nair and Banks, the young kid Carter
Yeah.
Nelson. But damn it, man, I just it's interesting. I know Colorado wants it bad. I know Nebraska wants it probably even worse. I don't know how I feel about this game. This is what I'm first of all very excited to. I think the contrasting styles is super interesting, right? How is Nebraska going to hold up? You mentioned that secondary is going to get tested, man. It's going to get tested. To me, I see them creating an edge on the defensive line. You have to be able to control this game, make Colorado one dimensional. And even if they choose to be one dimensional, just make it one dimensional and really get after the pass rusher. You've got a ton of talented guys there. And I know Colorado, beefed up the offensive line in the portal, but again, it's only week two. They're going on the road. How good are they going to be in that environment? Memorial Stadium is going to be just absolutely buzzing, right? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome to watch.
I'm not going to overreact and say that the offensive line is good, right? But it played pretty well. They only gave up 7 pressures. I mean, Shador dropped back like maybe half of a million times, right, in that football game. And I thought they were pretty okay. So, but Nebraska is a completely different beast, right? This might be one of the best, if not the best, defensive lines that Colorado faces all year. Right? This Nebraska defensive line, we talked about in the offseason. People might not know this, but they have weapons on that defensive line. Weapons. Okay. So that's kind of a big issue, right? And running the balls is not an issue for Colorado because they choose not to do it anyways, right? But in terms of dropping back and keeping Shador clean, right? I feel really weird about this game. I think Nebraska wins the football game, but I think Colorado does enough to keep it within the touchdown. I think
Really?
this has backdoor cover, like moral victory
It's like
written
the
all over.
USC game last year.
Yeah, this has backdoor cover written all over it. So What are we picking this at? 7, probably? Yeah, 7. Yeah, I'll take the Colorado +7, Nebraska to win the football game. I think I don't know enough about this Nebraska secondary, right? I know that they're good athletes, but I think the talent that Colorado has in that receiver room is just very overwhelming, and that they're going to do enough. And believe it or not, Shedeur Sanders is a very good quarterback, but at times he has been, challenged when he's been under pressure, constantly throughout games. But I got to believe that this offensive line is maybe improved enough to where, sure, this Nebraska team might give Shedeur his problems, but I Dylan Raiola, right, playing against his first Division I football team as a true freshman. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. Although I anticipate him doing fairly well because he was really good last week. He was really good. And he was really good in the spring game. I think he's a really good quarterback, guys. All right. That's not the poop on Dylan Raiola there, but yeah, I'll take Colorado +7, Nebraska to win.
Remember when Kyle McCord was going to go to Nebraska?
Yeah, and then see ya.
And then
Don't
Raiola
need you.
comes in. But yeah, but anyways, McCord had 350, against Iowa. So I'm not gonna poop on him too much. But listen, I kind of disagree with you here. Yeah, I agree in terms of the fact that I think Nebraska wins and covers, but I disagree in the fact I think it's gonna be a close game. I think whoever wins this game, I could see Colorado running away with it, right? And just overwhelming them with that offense. But then also Nebraska just like shutting it down, running the football, and kind of just bleeding the air or letting the air out underneath Colorado. So I don't know. I'll go Nebraska -7. I guess I'll lay that just because I have a little bit more confidence than at home. And I think, and I want to ask you this too, like who needs it more? Because I think Matt Rule needs this more than Dion does. And I know Dion will get buried if he loses because he's Dion. It's gonna
It's just
happen.
stupid. He's a touchdown dog. Like if he
Yeah,
loses this game, that's
on the
stupid if he gets
road.
buried.
It's ridiculous. But regardless, I think Nebraska and Matt Rule, I wonder how long they've been preparing for this game and what Dion is gonna bring with those weapons and that offense. I think they want it bad. I think they want it bad. Now I worry about them coming out too tight and because they know the talk and they know the pressure that they're under at home in front of that crowd. But I also just trust Matt Rule, man. Year 2, Matt Rule, year 3, Matt Rule. Unbelievable. So he's in year 2 now, and God, I'm excited. I think Nebraska's gonna be a dangerous football team. I was really impressed with what they did against
I
UTEP,
agree.
albeit it was UTEP.
So you're taking Nebraska to win and cover.
Yeah, I'll ride with you there.
Well, you're not right because I'm taking Colorado to cover and Nebraska to win.
Oh, da 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 da. Yeah, yeah.
But no, I see where Nebraska's going to win this football game. We both believe.